Welcome to Business 147 Personal Finance. I'm your professor, Dr. Annie No, and in this video, I'll provide an overview and a tour of Canvas. So here we are on our homepage. You can see here on the left are the navigation menus for Canvas as a whole, as well as our course specifically. So you can take a look at our syllabus, the modules, you can check out your grades, you can see who's in the class. And in the center here, I've got some tips to navigate our course. My email address is right here. It's ango@miracosta.edu, or you can always use the inbox here to contact me. Our class meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 1:15 p.m. in the San Elijo Library, classroom SAN 112. I hold office hours just before our class times at 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., which we can do in person or we can do over Zoom. If those dates and times don't work for you, feel free to email me and we can find another date and time by appointment. I do have some quick buttons here for convenience. I've got a link to the STEM Learning Center if you need additional tutoring or help with the math in our class, a link to the syllabus, and a link to our required textbook. Over here on the right as well is the to-do list with all of the different assignments and tasks that we're doing for the week, including when we meet for class. Once I release announcements, the latest announcements that I post will appear up at the top here. And then if we scroll down just a bit further, you can see I have the module quick links. So if you know which module you need to get to, you can quickly access it. Note that I don't open all the modules of the course. I usually only open 1 or 2 weeks at a time. And then, so if you try to open week 8, for instance, you wouldn't be able to see that today. Here's the video that you're watching right now. Now let's go ahead and click on the modules button. And so you can see that the first module is the course orientation and resources module. So I've laid out all of the things that you need to know to do well in our class, but it's also there for easy reference. So I don't expect you to memorize everything I have in here, but if you review it briefly enough later, if you're trying to find something, this is the best place to go to try to find that information. So I've got a welcome message, a little bit more about me, the weekly expectations of our course, the required textbook. So as you go through these pages, you just want to click on the next button in the lower right-hand corner and you'll get through all the content. In this module, I also include the different extra credit opportunities for this class. And then scrolling further down, you can see I have a module for personal finance resources, some links to things that I've personally used or recommend for people to check out. I do have a couple of the modules already open. So you can see here, this is the week 1 module. And each week we cover about 2 chapters. So you can see here, I've got the chapter 1 laid out first. You'll see the chapter 1 lecture videos with guided readings, a reading quiz or concept quiz, and the homework assignment. And so that model gets repeated for every chapter. Most weeks also have some additional assignments. You can see here there's a labor market statistics assignment in week 1, but we work on it a little bit in class, so I'll walk you through all that stuff. But as you see, scrolling down, week 2 is similarly structured. We're covering chapters 3 and 4. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly expectations, and then I'll show you what some of the materials look like for each week. So as an 8-week, 3-unit course, this class is compressed in that we're going to be doing multiple chapters a week. You're expected to invest approximately 18 hours per week, but that's everything. That's coming to class, reading, watching lecture videos, doing homework, projects, assignments. Not everyone uses all 18 hours. Some folks spend less time. Some folks spend more time. Everyone learns at a different pace. But the general structure of the week is that you're going to watch the chapter lecture videos and any supplemental videos I assign before coming to class. And then when you come to class, we'll have discussions, we'll do hands-on application of the concepts to reinforce your learning. And I also like to emphasize the trickier concepts or the more interesting concepts that students like to learn in the class. Note that each class also includes an entry ticket. So that's an exercise related to that day's topic, and it is worth 5 points of participation. Note that if you miss class, you can still do the entry ticket, but you'll only earn up to 3 points in that case. Now, you'll want to complete the guided reading of the chapters and take the concept quizzes by the end of the week, which is due on Sundays. So the way I've structured that is so that you're not stressed out about trying to read everything before coming to class. As long as you watch the videos, you'll have enough of the course content so that we can do the work in class together. And then the guided readings really is more of a skimming in order to answer the concept quizzes to make sure that you get the key concepts down, and then you can read as closely or more detailed as you want. Now, there is homework every week for every chapter as well, and these are quantitative questions, so these are the math problems that are due on Sundays. Some weeks, as I mentioned, have other assignments like labor market research or mini cases or a personal assignment, and there is a team project. We're doing like an investment presentation where you get to pick stocks and see how well they do over the weeks of our course. There's a final case study and a final exam. In each week's module, I'll have all the materials that you need to do well, whether that's videos, instructions, tutorials, study guides, and whatnot. My deadlines and late work policy is that all assignments have a 1-day grace period, meaning you don't have to ask me to submit something a day late. We have lots going on our plate, and as long as you get it in, I'm not going to bother you. Beyond the 1 day, I start to remind you and check in to see why you haven't done the work. Because of this being a compressed class, it's easy to fall behind if you wait too long. If you need help at all, though, email me anytime. I do accept revisions to all assignments except for exams up until the last day of class. So let's say you submit an assignment and you get an okay grade, but you could have done better. You can always revise it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Chapter 1 lecture videos and guided reading. So you can see right at the top of this page is the lecture video that you need to watch before coming to class. Now I do have the video embedded here, but I'll also have a YouTube link, which has the captions if you prefer to do it that way. Pro tip, I know a lot of my students like to use the settings and will speed up the video or slow down the video depending on their preference. But you'll see there's the lecture video, and then just below that, here's the reading guide. So I have the chapter downloaded and put into PDF for you. So you'll click on that and you can read through it. Now, what guided reading means is I have the chapter outlined here, and I'm highlighting in yellow the things that you need to pay attention to and its sub-bullets so that you know what to focus on and make sure to keep in mind. What you'll notice, for instance, here in this chapter 1, section 1.4, that's optional. So anything that's in brackets like here that says optional, you don't have to read it if you don't want to. And nothing in the optional readings will ever be like on an exam or an assignment. So it's really up to you if you're just interested in more content. For instance, here I've got supplemental videos. This is a SMART goals video. I recommend, if you can, watch them before coming to class, but if you're short for time, just make sure at a minimum, watch the lecture videos. And then this is where I'll click next so I can see the assignment. So here you can see this is the Chapter 1 quiz. There are questions, there may be assessments for reflection, but they're untimed, they're open book, and you get 2 tries. What some students like to do is they'll take the quiz once, see which ones they got wrong, and then they'll email me for help before they take their second attempt. I'll go ahead and click next. And then here you can see this is the homework problem set for Chapter 1. What I usually do in the instructions is I put all the formulas and resources that you need, whether it's links to something or videos, as well as my contact information and my Zoom link, for instance. So all that is up front, and then it is in the quiz format, but it's homework, again, untimed, open book, and you can actually do it as many times as you want. It's unlimited. And again, some students will work on it, not submit, but save, and then they'll like email me a question so I can respond, and then they can finish up their homework that way. Let me go ahead and click next. And then you can see here, this is Chapter 2, similar structure, the embedded lecture video, link to YouTube if you prefer watching it that way. You can subscribe to my playlist too. And then just below, you can see the guided reading with the outline of concepts that you want to make sure like, yeah, I get these. Or perhaps there's a concept that you want more information on, bring that with you when you come to class and we'll have some conversations about it. So I look forward to meeting with you in person, and we'll talk more about the class on our first day together. If you have any questions, feel free to email me anytime.